Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. We're doing deep inner work readings today. So this is for those of you who are on a path of alchemization, individuation, becoming your true authentic self, whatever you want to call it. And you're looking for kind of the deep, what needs to be acknowledged, what needs to be transmuted, that kind of thing. So these are more deep, intense readings that will help you shift your energy into alignment. We've got 3 piles today: catharsis, rethink restrictions, and intolerance. The timestamps are below, and I'll see you in your reading. Hi, pile 1, welcome to your reading. I call this a deep inner work reading. So let's flip over your cards. You've got King of Swords, the Hanged Man, and 6 of Cups. You've got Your Soul Shines, Mending Bridges. You heal by releasing, not suppressing. What emotions do you need to feel? Catharsis. Priestess of Perfect Pairing makes the match. Shaman's Mirror. And Stand Still. So there's a few themes coming up in this reading. First, the Hanged Man, catharsis, and you heal by releasing, not suppressing. What emotions do you need to feel? Stand still as well with the Hanged Man. I feel like you're experiencing something, some sort of situation or some sort of relationship that is mirroring something in you at this time that perhaps you've been having trouble with moving the energy. So you're in a situation where what is around you feels like it's exactly mirroring your inner world, in a sense that you have an inner conflict going on. And it's like your universe has put you in a standstill kind of situation where you can't get out of it. There's nothing you can do. Like, you've manifested your mirror and it's around you, it's in front of you. Perhaps traditionally the way that you deal with whatever this energy is by kind of swallowing it and just moving on, or not pausing to become aware of what's going on. It's like you're so used to dealing with whatever this energy is that you aren't necessarily so conscious of it when it is coming up and acting on you. It's like this energy just comes right in and you just go into like a coping mode, and it's like you don't have awareness of what's going on, or you do, but it's just so it feels like it's ingrained. So this is something that you might have had with you for quite a while, that your situation right now is kind of forcing you into a cathartic place where you are in the standstill, you are faced with yourself, like there's nowhere for you to go, so to speak. And when we've been avoiding something painful for a long time, it's like we can kind of keep running and keep telling ourselves that something else is going to change, and then ultimately it's like we have to just meet ourselves where we are and sit with whatever we've been avoiding and deal with it. So the Shaman's Mirror card is it kind of sums up this whole reading. So I'm just going to read the first little bit. A pause to reflect lengthens that magical moment of liberating potential that occurs between action and reaction. In that moment, there is precious power to halt karma in its tracks. To access such karma-clearing potency, slow down and look deeper. The dynamics happening around you are veiled pathways to better understand the dynamics within you. Be patient and contemplative to understand what is taking place, what belongs to another, and what belongs to you. Only then can you realize what is being asked of you at a spiritual level. There is an empowered inner response to an outer trigger that will bring you peace while stimulating wise action on your part. So I feel like that's pretty clear for the moment. Let's pull some more cards to clarify and deepen these messages. So you've got taking action, the distraction of shiny things. The how is in the now. What has your intuition been trying to tell you? And the amaryllis lute. So what we're really getting here is that, like, this is it. This is the turning point. This is the tipping point. This is where things cannot continue as they were. As I mentioned, I was really feeling that message strongly, like, you are not moving forward unless this is moved, and it will be moved. The distraction of shiny things is interesting because it speaks to, like, something that you're getting out of this situation, or something that is distracting you from your conscious awareness and inner connection to yourself. So there might be money involved here that keeps you kind of unconscious. Maybe you're experiencing scarcity and there's money involved, and it's hard for you to kind of break out of whatever this is because of that shiny thing. But it's like it's all challenging you into a deeper relationship with yourself, into connecting with pieces of you that you had to disconnect from, perhaps for a very long time. It's all about healing just long-term patterns, maybe things that originated in childhood or from very, very young, kind of the base core issues. For the universe to kind of take you aside and surround you in this energy is a real gift, but it's also, it just means that it's time. It's the point where, you know, when the lava bubbles up to the surface of a volcano, it's going to come out. It's happening. This is the point where things shift. So I feel like the key point here in the King of Swords being your first card, in mastering your mind and mastering the situation, is for you to recognize it for what it is, which is, this is your soul that has stuck you in a corner and said, we are dealing with this. Like, your own energy has manifested this situation. And what you're being asked to just marvel at is, like, the innate capacity of your energy to know how to heal itself and to put itself in situations where it can heal itself. That you are, your energy, your beingness is always seeking better, is always seeking well-being, is always going and finding the medicine that it needs in order to move something along. So I feel like this whole journey for you is also realizing that you have the power and the resources to shift anything, to overcome anything. And maybe that is the core of the issue that you've been having, is a feeling of powerlessness or inability to change, or inability to move something, very stuck. It feels like you've been in this mirror world for a long time where your outer has just been reflecting to you something within you that you haven't been able to access and process and move. This is just your confirmation that you do have the resources, you can do it, and your energy is always manifesting situations to help you with achieving your goals. So we'll pull 2 final cards. So you've got deep inward journey, you'll be rewarded for the work. How can you alchemize your fear? and remember me, the Divine Mother within. So what I'm getting is that you are diving into your own source within you. And going back to what I just said, the key is for you to acknowledge that you are always being provided with what you need. And although it's come through this situation where what you need is this like standstill and stuckness and to face yourself, you are meeting your own source energy through this experience. You're meeting the way that you always bring to yourself what you need. It might not feel that way for you. It might feel like what you need is something other than what you're experiencing, other than what you're experiencing, but this is what you need. It's like you're being reacquainted with your inner source energy through this. And through manifesting unwanted, ugly experiences that we hate, it's like you are seeing your source energy coming to you, bringing to you what you need through this opposite kind of lens. So deep inward journey, you'll be rewarded for the work. How can you alchemize your fear? It's like there's nothing for you to fear here. You're manifesting everything as a response to your own intentions. This is all meeting your own needs. You are meeting your source energy. You are meeting something within yourself that is perhaps what you've been unable to hold. You've been projecting out. So I feel like this reading wants to stay a little bit vague. I don't feel like really coaching you or giving you activities to do or anything like that. I feel like this is your work to do. This is your mastery of yourself. Look at this beautiful red rose here. Rose is the symbol of, the ultimate, the attainment, the enlightenment, all that stuff. So this is your inner journey. You have the tools that you need. And if what you're doing feels like you're exiting codependency, then what you need to recognize is that you have everything within you that you need always. So you exit codependency, you exit this situation through realizing that you bring yourself what you need, even if it's in this backwards way. So chew on that, pile one. Keep working at it. You're doing amazing. You've got this. So thank you for listening and blessings on your journey. Hi, pile two. Welcome to your reading. This is a deep inner work reading. So let's pull over your cards. We've got Grace and Beauty, Knight of Swords, Death, and the Empress. Creator, Alchemy, cool. Launching your journey. Focus on service, rethink restriction. Rise above it, it's not yours to carry. You are an empath. How can you detach from the drama? Harvest Mother watches over me. And Chalk. So what I'm getting from this reading is that you are undergoing a sort of shift where you're really pulling into your own inner world. I'm almost surprised that the Hermit isn't here, but I think the focus is more on how you're transforming and moving from like a codependent energy and into connection with true source, with your self, with your deep inner self. A lot of these cards speak to removing yourself from ordinary reality through ritual, through ceremony, through source connection, whatever that looks like for you, and going on a deep inner journey, a deep inner connectedness where you're dropping whatever's kind of around you. Rethink restriction speaks to, you might be facing in your reality a lot of scarcity or lack at this time. But this reading is letting you know that those experiences are not meant to be hurtful or harmful to you. It's not a reflection of who you are. It's not you. You know, rise above it. It's not yours to carry. Like, don't be externally validated. You don't need to base your worth on how much you're receiving at this time. The universe is saying to you that the restriction or lack in your life is to help you go deeper into yourself. So perhaps you don't have a partner, or you have very little friends. Maybe your career's on pause. There's just some sort of lackfulness around you, some sort of drama. And whatever that is pushing you deeper into yourself. And this is because there's something very big that you're working on creating. You know, we see the Empress and Creator Alchemy. You might be birthing a whole new life, a whole new you. You might be alchemizing a lot of energy at this time. It's like you're undergoing a very big transformation. And the call is really to withdraw from your reality in a ceremonial way and come into your own energy. See life through your own eyes. Think about things through your own thoughts. Don't be responding to people like every single text that comes in, every single email. Just pause and observe and don't engage at all, whether it's, you know, drama or not. Grace and beauty speaks to staying in your own beautiful energy and not, you know, not being pulled into people's experiences, into whatever they might be asking you to join them in. So yeah, this is really like a Virgo energy of separating things and what's mine, what's not, what do I want to put my energy into, what do I not. It's about becoming slower and intentional with your reality and all the choices that you're making and all the things that are surrounding you. The chalk card is interesting because it speaks of like ceremonial processes or activities where people remove themselves from regular society, regular functioning, regular life in order to connect more deeply with spirit. So it's kind of like going on a vision quest, or the rituals and ceremonies required before entering Sweat Lodge, or, you know, adorning oneself in whatever outfit or smudge one needs to do before entering a ceremonial space. This card is all about like ceremonially removing yourself from the usual. Same with Harvest Mother Watches Over Me. It also speaks to like, this is your time to go within, and whatever kind of normally needs your gaze is being tended to by the divine at this time. So it's you're being provided with this sacred space for pause from regular life and from regular thought, from regular society, so that you can go more deeply into your own energy and stand there, because it feels like you're creating a whole new life with the Empress and Creator Alchemy. Like you're in the midst of creating something very big, and so what you really need to do is get into your own energy very closely. I'm also feeling that this could relate for some of you to your diet. So again, with rethink restriction, like maybe your body right now is just not having anything and you're being really, you know, pushed or forced by your body into eating very clean, you know, maybe a very minimalistic diet, maybe a diet that requires less protein because your energy is processing so much right now that protein is heavier and bogs you down and gets you, you know, more focused on other tasks. Like it pulls your energy away from these deep inner processes that need much more energy than usual at this time. So it's just about acknowledging. It's almost like being pregnant, where you have to kind of remove yourself from a lot of how you normally act and be and eat, and you know, all the kind of regular activities that you do, and you have to start taking really good care of yourself because you're nourishing another life, and you have to slow down, and you're shifting your schedule, you're doing a lot of this in a day, and you're not doing that, and you can't do this, and you have to do this. And so it's very much like that process. You're in this, whether it's, this is, for some people it might actually be about pregnancy, but I really feel like for most of you, this is your deep inner journey, and you're manifesting something new. And you're required to remove yourself from regular activity, go within, and just really nurture whatever that is that you're building. And what that is requires you to really step back and embrace whatever restrictions are around you at this time, because they're all helping you to go into yourself and to separate your energy from others, and what people normally place on you, what you normally might respond to, etc. So let's pull 3 more cards, see if there's anything else that wants to come through or to clarify any of these messages. Okay, so you've got a swan and a crowd of crows, psychic vampire, and liaison in the I Ching. So this is interesting. We're starting to get this image painted of you really being differentiated from somebody in your life, or a few somebodies, or a situation that was draining your energy, that was coming at you and pulling on you. It's interesting, going back to this pregnancy energy, like I would imagine if you're pregnant, like you have less energy for things. You can't tolerate certain things that you normally can. Or, when you're sick, when you're in a specific situation that makes it so that your energy level is less, or your tolerance level is less. Like, it's interesting how we shift and we become less open to allowing things that we normally do. So it's like you're in this sacred space where you're really, again, being given the opportunity to differentiate and kind of like sort through the energies around you normally, or that have been in your life, like to really recognize who you are and who everybody else is. And I feel like this reading is also letting you know that you are unique in your energy. I mean, we all are, but you have something very specific going on that differentiates you from the masses. Or perhaps from the people in your life. Like, you could be very different from your family, and you were convinced for many years that you were on the same path as them in some way, and spirit's kind of pulling you aside and saying, like, no, you're not part of this energy. We're removing you now. We're showing you how you're not part of this dynamic. Like, this is not yours. This is you. And this psychic vampire energy wants you to believe that it belongs with it. Very much as like a mother, like a suffocating mother that just wants to devour the child, and like, no, you belong with me. You are me. We have the same energy. You have to be with me, etc. And this vampiric energy is just trying to pull you back into a space that isn't yours. Yeah, you're ceremonially kind of removing yourself from a lot of energies that are not yours at this time. And it might be really happening because of restrictions in your life. Like, you can't deal with specific things that you used to be able to. So financial restrictions, energy restrictions, any sort of restriction always helps us to rethink things that we normally allow. It's very much like how the pandemic was like everyone's excuse to suddenly cut a bunch of people out of their lives that they couldn't, they didn't have the balls to do in regular circumstances. It's like when people have restrictions, your perspective just changes. It provides you with a lens to look through that's different, and you start to see where things align in your life and where things don't in a new way. And you start to, differentiate is like the key word of your reading. So let's pull 2 more to close your reading. So we've got Gratitude again and Desert Harvest. So gratitude again, pretty simple message, focusing on gratitude, on what is to be appreciated in your life rather than what is not, to recognize restrictions and unwanted circumstances as things that are just coming to help us get to where we want to be, that are answering our intentions. Desert Harvest is a card of, like, against odds, something is being born. So I feel like I didn't talk much about the tarot card, like the major arcana, where you've got death followed by the Empress. And death and restriction, it's kind of like very similar to how a desert goes from being so parched and so barren to, like, suddenly with just a little bit of rain, all this amazing life that springs forward. So I don't feel too much like diving deeply into that. I feel like this is something for you to explore, but that's a question for you, is what in your life is super barren and dry and dying, and to expect some sort of miraculous kind of shift where something comes out of nothing, where you've had something die and then there's a sudden rebirth of something else in your life. And gratitude might be the way to get there. So again, really acknowledging the death that you're going through, not as something negative or a painful or hurtful reflection of your beingness. It's the restriction is guiding you. It's very much like how the lines on the road, or the like the cement blocks along a road, guide you on the road so that you're not going the wrong way. Or the other way. It's like the universe is putting those cement blocks around you and cloistering you into a specific direction, and it's for your well-being. It's in response to something that you've asked for. It's not working against you. There's somewhere that you're going that, maybe is dry and barren and deserted, and then suddenly is going to spring to life somehow. So again, I'm feeling like not diving too deep into that. I feel like stopping around here and leaving you with something to think about. That's what came up in pile 1 as well. So I think these deep inner work kind of readings are really about you, and they're acknowledging that you're on a deep journey of some sort, and that this is your journey, and it's not all about someone else telling you everything for you. We can, help each other along the way, giving little pointers as our source energy does, but not answering the full picture, because that removes the joy of the journey from you. So thanks for listening, pile 2, and blessings on your journey. Hi, pile 3, welcome to your reading. We're doing a deep inner work reading today, so let's flip over your cards. You've got the 5 of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Knight of Cups. Magic happens when you most expect it. Breaking barriers. See only love. And intolerance. You can radically change your results by shifting your beliefs. What belief is limiting you? The Light Field. Amulet of Kurukula. And you don't know where you are, but you are free. So you are in there's a situation in your life that feels like it's negative, that feels unwanted. It feels like you're being thwarted. It feels like things aren't working for you. Some sort of conflict. You might be really struggling with a lot of destabilizing energies at this time. A lot of conflict, a lot of chaos around you. Maybe there's like a lot of no's, a lot of things kind of going wrong. Intolerance paired with the 5 of Wands makes me feel like there's a disagreement. So there could be opposing forces in your life. There could be you and then, someone pushing against you or harassing you, interfering with you in some way. So from the Five of Wands to the High Priestess, that's quite a big leap. So I feel like you're having a momentary lapse because of just the intensity of this experience. It's just gotten you kind of out of your regular perspective. I feel like normally you're a very oneness kind of minded person. You can see the love in situations, but just the gravity of this and like its hold over your nervous system because of past trauma or whatever's going on there. It's like this has pulled you out of your ordinary perspective, and it feels like your task is to get back into your ordinary perspective. It's quite simple feeling here because you're going from Five of Wands straight to High Priestess. That's a really big jump. To go from there to there, like you're stuck in the, you know, in the world of Maya, of the illusion, of the duality, that just things not making sense, and not, yeah, just from duality, and your ordinary perspective is this oneness and this knowing and understanding and being able to see love and neutrality, like not taking sides. It feels like your normal stance, but again, like this specific situation has pulled you out of yourself. So that's okay. All you need to do is get back to your ordinary perspective, which is the High Priestess. And it seems like something that you're quite accustomed to. And it might just be a matter of journaling for a little bit, just understanding that there's nothing going wrong. You're not stuck. You're not, you know, you're not manifesting negative and you're bad and all that. It's just that you're all you need to do here is get back to your ordinary point of view on this specific subject. So it's interesting because it's like our nervous systems just get locked in places based on past trauma, and then we re-manifest circumstances that pull us back down into that, but it doesn't matter because it's like the rest of you is still awake. The rest of you still has this perspective, and all you need to do is kind of like, it's like you have to absorb this particular energy into the rest of your, you know, the way that you work. Amulet of Kuru Kula says, you are progressing through a spiritual transition. Psychic, emotional, and mental fluctuations and instabilities can temporarily occur as part of this process. It may require more effort than usual to stabilize and ground yourself. Transitions are essential components of the spiritual path. They are the necessary crossing points from one way of being into the next evolution. Transitions ultimately promise heroic breakthrough, yet they require particular spiritual care as the soul is more vulnerable to disruption during such times. So you can facilitate a smooth, significant, and successful transition in your life. This ensures safe passage. So yeah, very clear, like you're moving from one way of being into another on a specific subject, or, you know, in a specific area of your life. And you've manifested some kind of junky stuff that's a product of the old way of being, that's outdated, that wants to die, that might even be someone else's energy. It's something that's not yours, that doesn't really vibe with the rest of you. And it's pulled you into this, you know, lower vibration perspective that's not aligned with source, that's not your normal way of seeing things, and that's okay. It is, however, it is destabilizing for you to go through this experience. It's not, you know, it's like you've been yanked out of your regular perspective, and you might really be struggling to navigate these situations because of not having recourse to your regular, like, the way that you normally see things. This might be really getting under your skin and getting to you and causing you to not have access to your ordinary tools and your ordinary ways of thinking. So when there's something kind of lower vibration in our life, it pulls us out of our ability to access like our usual tools, because our usual tools are at a specific vibration, and whatever the situation is, like whatever this energy is not that vibration. So it has to be dealt with almost in another way. I feel like you don't know where you are, but you are free card, and breaking barriers and expecting magic. And this is all to say that like you are absolutely not stuck at all, and nothing is going wrong here. This is just you. It's like when you push something to the surface. It's like this ugly, gross thing that needs to just come out and be ugly for a bit, and then it's over. It's kind of like that. It's just this energy just needs to come up and get out of the way, and for you to, you know, process it and alchemize it with your energy. So it's very much like when you have kind of muddy water and you start to filter it. It's like this one subject is the muddy water, the rest of you is the filter, and you just have to use like your regular energy to influence and impact this into the rest of you. It's kind of like a soul retrieval or integration in a way, where you're bringing this specific thing up into your regular vibration, into your regular energy. This is asking you, essentially what it's asking you to do is to ground and integrate your energy. So if you think about this in a more higher vibration way, you can say to yourself that you've manifested an experience where you have an opportunity to integrate more of your higher perspective source energy into your physicality. This is just an opportunity for you to integrate more spirit and matter together by synthesizing, by alchemizing, by bringing the two together. It's very alchemical. It's like pouring a little bit of energy from this beaker and pouring a bit from this beaker, and them working together and synthesizing. And it's all about like, this is your opportunity to put your principles into practice. And it's harder to do when there's like an ugly reality situation in our face versus when we are just, you know, thinking. And you might want to look into Jung's concept of unearned wisdom and the process of like how we manifest kind of ugly situations sometimes if we have accessed wisdom or enlightened energies that are beyond what we've actually integrated and experienced in real life. So we can manifest like an ugly situation that requires us to integrate our wisdom through practice. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a process. But looking that up and understanding what's going on here, and, you know, realizing that you have the tools to deal with it that's all very helpful, because suddenly you understand what's going on, and then it becomes kind of like a quest for the Holy Grail, which is the Knight of Cups. It becomes like, oh, I get what this is. And then you can start actually applying yourself correctly, because you're not freaking out anymore and getting kind of sucked into the drama. There's also a bit of energy here around like you becoming a lot more sensitive or psychically open. So you might be experiencing some of that in this transition as well. And that might be also really throwing you off. Between this card, the Light Field, and the High Priestess, they both kind of suggest that you are going through some sort of psychic opening. So that might also be causing you a lot of issues. You know, if you start really becoming more aware of things than you were before, or yeah, that kind of energy can be destabilizing as well. So let's pull 2 more cards to cap this reading. I feel like we've mostly got all the messages here. So one more thing that's sticking out to me is just the importance of realizing how powerful it is to just shift your perspective. That shifting your view, like shifting the way that you're looking at this situation, is kind of all you need to do to get the energy moving. So let's flip over your final cards, and there's actually 3 of them. So Dynasty of the Divine Mother, Celebrate Your Wins, and Determination. So you're very clearly like, you're on a journey here, and it's like you're making, it's like a step-by-step kind of thing. You have to just keep putting your energy into this situation and elevating it through doing that. So you can take a lower vibration, like lower density physical experience or physical manifestation, and apply your energy to it, apply your perspective to it, apply your love to it, apply your knowing to it, and you will witness the situation morphing in front of you to become something that is higher vibration. Like, you have the power to influence whatever this is with your energy. You are weaving the spirit and the matter together. And don't be freaked out when the universe gives you lead to transmute into gold. It's like, there's always a process. You're not just going to be given the gold by the universe all the time. Sometimes, you've aligned and you've manifested something, but sometimes, we may not think it's fun, but it's like our soul, our source energy really feels like it feels fun to get something that's like an absolute wreck or a mess, and then to transmute it and to polish it and to make it into something beautiful. It's much more satisfying of a journey than just being given something. And again, like, humans don't really acknowledge things that way, but the soul really sees it that way. And when we honor that journey and just go through it, we always look back and be like, this is so much more satisfying because of the journey than if it would have just came. And I think this is from The Alchemist, the book The Alchemist, that there was a man that was in Spain, and then he got wind of treasure that was somewhere else, like I can't remember where, but he goes on this whole journey, like this huge long journey, and all these things happen to him, and he almost dies maybe a few times, and just all these things. And then he's going to find this treasure that he heard is over here, and then suddenly, like, he gets that taken away, or that's not an option for him anymore, and he gets wind that there's actually treasure right near, where he grew up, or like right there near him, and he actually didn't have to go through any of this. It was there all along. So he goes back and he finds this treasure that is exactly where he started out, and it's like, that treasure means something different to him after the whole journey than if he were to just go and find it. And the human mind really doesn't want to see the beauty in that experience. Like, we are very much about instant gratification and that kind of thing, but that's just not where the true satisfaction comes from in life. Like, true satisfaction is having a desire and moving towards attaining that through your own energy. So don't be afraid when the universe gives you lead. It is for you to turn into gold. Yeah, and the Dynasty of the Divine Mother, like, celebrate your wins, determination. These 3 cards really speak to, like, it's a process. Everything's a process. Everything's a journey. Embrace that this is not something that will shift overnight. You might be used to working with energies that are faster moving, and this is something that's like, oh my god, this is so slow. Why is this not moving? What's going on? I feel so stuck. What's wrong with me, etc. But it's like, no, this is just something that requires more steps. Like, this is just a manifestation in your life where you have to put the work in. You have to go step by step. You have to go day by day. It's not an instant thing. Like, these 3 cards are really just affirming that this is meant to be a process. So don't feel discouraged and beaten down if it's something that's taking a long time, or that feels like you're getting, you might even feel like you're getting knocked back and then stepping forward and then knocking back. It's all part of this process. So this is your message of, like, nothing's going wrong. This is all as it's meant to be. And just keep going. Be determined. Go step by step. You are working this energy into something. Just trust yourself. Trust this journey. Knight of Cups is, the knight on the Holy Grail quest. This is a quest. This is you moving energy, you becoming more integrated spirit and matter. This is like a holy process for you, something for you to embrace and see for what it is, and to engage at a sacred level. It's not, nothing's going wrong. Reality is not messing with you. This is a deep spiritual kind of work that you're doing. So embrace that. And as you soften and really focus on the progress you're making rather than how big the issue is, you will progress very quickly as we go from, 5 of Wands straight to the High Priestess and then to the Knight of Cups. It's like, you're going to get it. You're going to, oh yeah, this is what's happening. Okay. And then, okay, off we go. I can do this. I can engage this quest. Here we go. And step by step, you'll get there. Okay, pile 3. So that's your reading. Thank you for listening, and blessings on your journey.